人は一切れのパンのために他人を殺す。自分の幸せを至上の優先として戦うんだ。
もう僕らだけの戦いじゃないんだ。
私はもう誰にも死んでほしくないだけよ。殺したければ殺しなさい。命を絶てても思想までは奪いやしない。
死にたい奴はかかってこい。
望むところ我が剣を受けてみよ。
こうならどうする、どうするというのだ。
彼らは力で支配されることを望んだのだ。
戦う意志のない奴なんか死人と同じじゃねえか。
仲間のためにもこのまま終わるわけにはいかない。
こうしなければオールスターに明日はない。
僕は理想のためにその手を汚すことができるのか。
はい、皆さんこんにちは。TGS、タクティクスオーガリボン TGS スペシャル生放送をこの時間はお送りいたします。私は本日の MC を務めさせていただきます。タクティクスオーガリボンのプロデューサー加藤です。よろしくお願いします。はい、ありがとうございます。それでまずは、皆様、お待ちからのですね、本日のゲストの方々をご紹介していければと思います。
ゴリアテの英雄なんて呼ばれてますが、それが僕らの力だけじゃないことはよく分かっています。真の平和のため、争いのない世界を築くために僕らは戦っている。
皆さんこんにちは。タクティクスオーガーリボーンで主人公デニムの声を新たに担当させていただいております前野智明です。よろしくお願いします。
はい、では続きましてこちらです。
助ければいい金になりそうだな。どうだランスロット、やらねえか。
俺の名はカノープス。死にたい奴はかかってこい。
皆さんこんにちは。
Hello
タクティ
everyone.
クスオーガーリボーンで
I
カ
am
ノプス役やらせていただいております中村一です。
I
よろし
play
くお
the
願い
role
します。
of Canopus in this title. Hello everyone again.
ここで
Well, this was
なんで今日中村さんいらっしゃるのかと。
why are you here? Maybe you might think about it. Here's a question. But I'm here. In the beginning, you announced. In the beginning, even though we actually, didn't say that, but there are so many fans, right? And when I saw the PV in the beginning, there were so many popular dialogues there for the subscription there. So maybe you would understand who would be there, right? That's something I saw in the Twitter too. So this is the first announcement. Here is Nakamura, Yuichi Nakamura.
ありがとうございます。そして、さらにこちらの方をご紹介いたします。タクティクスオーガーリボンコンポーザーの崎本仁さんです。
The composer of the Tactics Order, Hitoshi Sakimoto. Hello everyone, I'm the composer of this title, Hitoshi Sakimoto.
はい、以上の豪華な方々ととも
So
に
we now have
お送
the
りさせていただき
great
ます。
guest for
また、こ
today.
の放送は感染症対策を行い、
And
ソーシャルディス
to
タンスを
protect
保
the
ち、放送してまいり
infection,
ます。
we just
でま
keep
た、
the social
今回
distance.
の、
And then
公開
for
放送
this
では特別に
opportunity,
会場の皆様との間に仕切りなしで
do not
ステー
have
ジを
the
行
barrier
ってまい
between
ります。
ourselves and
皆
the
様が
audience
大きな
here
声を
in
出し
this
てしまう
room.
とマイクに入
So
って
if you
放送に声が
speak
乗っ
in
て
a
しまうこ
loud
とがありま
voice,
すので、
sometimes
何
the
卒ご協力をよろしくお願い
microphone
いたし
here
ます。
will capture your voice. So please work with us.
は
Please
い、さ
cooperate
て、
with us.
早
Thank
速
you
です
very
が、
much in the
今日
beginning.
の放
So
送ですね。タクティクスオーガを知らない、聞いたことはあるなと思いつつ、
broadcasting,
遊ん
maybe
だ
some
ことはない
viewers
方も
have
た
not
くさん見てい
played
ただいてい
this
るかと思い
title
ます
but
の
heard
で、
about it.
タクティクスオーガとは、ど
So
ういうゲ
I
ーム
would
なの
like
かと
to
いう基本
explain
の
the
ところからです
basic
ね、
of
まず
Black
はご
Text
紹介してい
Org.
ければと思います。
So please
はい、で
take
は
a look
こちら
at
のスライドを
this.
ご覧ください。はい、タクティクスオーガについてですね、
Tactics
こういう歴史で作っていますというところなんですけども、まずはですね、1993
In the
年に
beginning,
スーパーファミコン用ゲームとして
in
伝説のオ
we
ーガ
released
バトルというですね、ゲームが発売されました。当時の日本国内では馴染みのないリアルタイムストラテジータイプのゲームでありなが
and
ら、
that was
その自
for
由
the
度と完成度の高さ
SNES, and that
を
was
多
the
くのユー
real-time
ザーから称
strategy
賛され
type
ました。
game, which
特
was
に
unfamiliar
グラフ
in
ィックや
Japan
演
at
出
that
面、やり
moment.
込み、そうしたく
However,
なる
it
よう
was
なですね、
prized
ゲー
by
ムシス
many
テムの高い
users
評
for
価
its
で、
high high degree of freedom and completeness.
そして
And this
1995
game
年
was
スー
quite
パーファ
a
ミコン用
hit,
タ
and
クティ
people
カル
really wanted to
RPG と
play
し
that
て
again
タ
and
クティ
again.
クスオー
And
ガを
in
発売。伝
1995,
説の
we
バトルと
launched
は
the
異なるア
Tactics
プローチで
Ogre.
クォータービューによ
That
る
was a
高低
little
差のある
bit
フィール
different
ドでの
from
バ
the
トル。
previous one
独自
because
性
we
のある
had the
緻密な
height
ピ
and
クセルア
also
ー
we
ト、
had
マル
the
チストー
pixel
リー
art
マル
and
チエンディングで
profound
進行する重
ensemble
厚な群
drama
像
that
劇など、
progresses
このジャン
through
ルとして
multiple
は異例のヒッ
storylines
トを
and
飛ばし、
multiple
今なおユー
endings.
ザーから高い
And
支持を
still,
得
this
てい
game
ます。
was quite
そして
familiar
2010
among
年です
the
ね、
gamers.
今度スーパーファミコン
And
版
in
のオリジナルスタッフを確保しまして、
with the
大幅
original
なシナリオ
stuff
化
of the
出、
Super
多彩なキャラクター
NES
育成、
version as
新シ
core
ステムや
members,
豊富な
the
やり
game
込み要
has
素を
been
盛り込み、再
reworked
構
to
築を図った
incorporate a
タクテ
major
ィクスオー
addition
ガ
to the
運命を
scenario,
プレイ
a
ステ
variety
ー
of
ション
character
ポータブルで
development,
発売
new
して好
systems,
評を
and
発
many
しま
of
した。
challenging elements.
でちなみに、
And that was
前野さん
Tactics
中
Ogre,
村さ
the
ん
Wheel
は
of
タクティクスオーガ
Fate.
というゲーム
So,
をプレイ
by
さ
the
れた
way,
ことはありま
Maino-san,
すでしょうか。
Nakamura-san, have you ever
もちろん
played
僕
this
は
game?
中村さんもおっしゃってましたけど、
Oh, yes.
まあ
Oh, yes,
あり
as
ます
he
ありがとうござい
said.
ます。
Yeah, we are now playing to try to save hobbling, right? That was very
スーパーファミ
tough.
コン版ではもう最強キャラとして
That was something
長い、
that
はい、もう
was
ハブル
toughest one
先生
in
として
the
はい
NCNS.
強かったですね。
Canopus was very
強かったです
strong,
ね。あ、なんか
wasn't it?
先の話になるかもしれない
Oh,
ですけど、
yes.
今回弓って強いんですか？
What about the archer?
そうです
Archer
ね、カ
is
ムプは
strong?
確かにオリジナルではもう大活躍で、はい
Yes, that was something we need to think about. The
ちょっ
archer
となんか一回
is very strong.
PSP 版だと少し弱く
Yeah,
なってる
according to
感じが
PSP, that was a little bit
で
weaker,
今回
right?
も
But
弓は
what
調整は
about
してるんですけど、
now?
ちゃんと
We
クラスごとにです
adjusted
ね、クラスごととか
the
能力によって弓を
but the
生かせたりとか、
class and
生
the
かせないシチュエーションもあるんですけど、そういった時は
For
ま
the
た工夫をして
stage,
別の組み合わせ
we
で
are
装備を
able
した
to
り
use
と
the
か、はい、
archer,
い
but
ろんな
not
楽しみ
for
が、
all
はい
of
はい
them. So you have to adjust. Yeah, Canopus is very strong for sure.
そうですね。救われる場面ってたくさん
Yeah,
あり
you
ます。
will be saved by Canopus in many cases or
はい
in many stages. Understood. Good.
主人公難しいんだよね。
Yeah, main character is very difficult because if
主
you
人公もね
if you actually die, the game is over. So that's very scary, right?
僕の身ですが
Understood. Understood.
はい、ありがとうございます。
Thank you for the
で
comments.
あれですよね、崎本さんは、まあ、伝説のバトルから
And then, by the way,
まあ、タクティクスオーガ、タクティクスオーガ運命の輪で
You
も、はい、全
actually
ての音楽の方に
touched
携わ
on
って
the
いた
all the
だいて
composer,
きて
all
ま
the
すよね。
all the music from the Ogre Battle and the Tactics Ogre and the Wheel of Fate, right? Yes, I have been working for many years, maybe over 20 years, but yeah, this title is loved by everyone for many years, which is
私
a
も
very
ね
good one、for
それこ
me.
そタクティクスオーガの時に、当時アルバイトで開発に
I actually was working for the
それがやっぱ
debug,
今
you
もう
know,
28年ぐらい
procedure
前な
for
ん
the
ですけど、
Tactics Ogre. I was just the part-time worker at that moment, and then now I'm here. What's a promotion? Long
ただ本
time.
当ね、
Yeah, actually, I did my
昨日の
best.
ことのようになんかね、いろいろと
But
や
you
っぱ
know,
当時
I
のことと
just
か思い出
you know
されるぐらい、はい、
remembered what I
印象は本当に残って
did
ます
as
ね。
the debugger at that moment.
ありがとうございます。はい。で、そしてですね、じゃあ次のスライドお願いいたし
So
ま
let's
す。
go to the next one.
で、そしてですね、今年いよいよそのタクティクスオーガがさらなる進化を遂げまして、
So let's go to
新成
the
したタクティ
information
クスオーガリボ
here.
ンが
So we will have the
2022年11
Tactics
月
Ogre
11日に
Reborn
発売さ
on
れます。
11th in
は
November
い、で注目いただきたいリ
2022.
ボンポイント
So
は、じゃあ
here's the
3点にな
point
り
for
ま
the
す。
Reborn.
ま
I
ず
do
1
have
点
the
目は
3
ですね、
points.
映像
First,
表現力の向上。
improve
グラ
the
フィックの
visual
高解
expression.
像とかはもちろん、
Of
操
course,
作
the
感にストレスを
resolution
感
is
じず、
improved,
も
and
っと楽しん
also
でプレイしていただけ
you
るよ
don't
う
have
利
to
便性
feel
を図って
stress, and we
UI を一
actually
新しました。
increase the
そして2点目がです
usability
ね、
and
サウン
they
ド表現
changed
力
the
の向上とな
UI.
ります。
And the second
カッ
one
ト
is
シー
the
ン、これは
improvement
会
of
話のあ
sound
るイベントシーンの
expression.
ことですね。
Cutscenes
こちら
would
は
be a
前野
dialogue
さん、
for the
中村さんはじめ、
event.
多く
Well,
の
Maino-san,
声優の方々
Nakamura-san,
に
and
演じてい
many
ただきまして、
voice
はい、臨
actors
場感たっ
played
ぷりの
great
フルボイスでお楽しみいた
expression
だけ
there,
るよう
and
にな
you
って
can
おりま
enjoy
す。
the full voice
SE
from
もこの
characters.
作用に再構築しています。
And we
そして
actually restructured
BGM
for
は
this
崎
reborn.
本さんにですね、すべて
And then
生演奏
BGM,
で
by
再
the
レコ
way,
ーディングをしていただきま
Sakimoto-san,
し
we
た。はい、
recorded
新
all
曲
the
もね、あり
music
ま
with
すか
the
ら
live
ね。はい、
music,
その
and
話
there
はまた、
are
は
the
い、
new
後ほど、
music too.
伺
So I
ってで
really
きれ
want
ば
to
と思い
listen
ます。
about it later.
はい、そして、1点目、
The
こちらバトルデザインをリメイ
point,
ク。
making the battle design. We have adapted the points users liked in Tactics Order, the Wheel of Fate, and incorporated many new elements. So those are the 3 points that I really want to mention here. But to enjoy the story, we improved many things. So let's go into details a little bit. And we want to share some new information to you. And please enjoy the discussion and talk with my guest for today. Alright, so let's go to the worldview and the story of the Reborn. Let's go to the slide. Yes. This is the world map of this title. This game takes place on the island called Varelia. It has long flourished as a transit point for the maritime trade, but there have always been disputes between peoples over its supremacy. And the island of Varelia was once unified by a man named Dolwager. An emergence of a wise king finally brought about the civil rule, but he had no successor, unfortunately. After the death of the king, the nation was once again divided and the ethnic conflicts began. 3 ethnic groups were battling each other. The story begins with the wolf sons, a minority group, being driven into the corner by the other ethnic groups. So now I would like to go a little deeper into the story with the character correlations. Next slide, please. Yes. Here is the correlation chart that shows the struggle for the supremacy in the island of Varelia. The kingdom of Gargastan, with the majority of the population, and the Cardinal Barbados, and they oppressed the minority group Worcester. The Wolstans, led by the Marquess de Loge, have been relegated to the Autonomous region, which is not currently a country, but are under Operation Q. And the background Varelia nation is made up of the aristocratic class. And the regent Branca is growing in power with the military support of the Rotten Power and the Church of the Rhodes.
Alright, so continuing right on to the next slide, which explains the main characters and how they are intertwined with each other, and we'll have Denim as well as Canopus appear here. First of all, this is the main character, Denim, a young Wallister man, voiced by Maino-san, and he's a comrade to the Wallister resistance, which engages in guerrilla activities against the Bakram and Galgastani army together with his sister Katsua and childhood friend Vice. As the story unfolds, he meets other characters including the Holy Knight Lancelot and Canopus, voiced by Nakamura-san in his journey. Now, let's take a look now at an event scene, cutscene between Denim and Canopus in Japanese. Here's the video.
なんだまた喧嘩か。それよりこれを見ろよ。また賞金が上がっているぜ。3万ゴートだ。公爵も焦ってるな。
ひどすぎるわ。これじゃ私たちが犯罪者みたいじゃない。
戦争に正義も悪もない。皆が犯罪者とも言えるし、犠牲者とも言える。ある意味、勝者が正義であり敗者が悪とも言えよう。それが世の中ってもんだ。
彼らを守ることもできなかった僕は、負けてしまった僕は犯罪者か。
勝つしかないってことさ。
Wow, that was cool, wasn't it?
ちなみに実際の収録の時とかは
At the time of recording, can you tell us what it was like?
どんな進行というか実際ちょっとねコロナの状況もあったりして
Because it was in the middle of COVID, I understand you weren't able to gather all the actors together. Yes. I have played Tactics Ogre previously, like Nakamura-san was saying, and I was reminiscing back on the lines and the scenes that I remember as I was recording. For me, the main characters, they recorded first, but listening to the voices, I learned that Maino-san is voicing Denim. Set aside my character, the main character Denim, depending on the route that he takes, the philosophy that he adopts becomes different, and the story branches out. So Canopus, he's not really involved in the politics of this world. Therefore, he's not really so engaged in that side of the story, but I was thinking through the scenario and wondering whether or not you would be confused over what sort of philosophy you take, right? Because we would take several routes, progress and then come back with a particular philosophy, and then come across common philosophies as well across the scenarios. And I'm sure it was a little bit difficult for you to follow the direction. Every time we went through a recording, I would ask for the sessions from the previous recording, and that was really fun to listen to. And I was asked whether or not I wanted to listen to Sugiyama-san's voicing of the character voice. And the line that I heard was, "Don't stop, don't kill me." And that was the first time I heard Sugiyama-san's voice, his voice with a lot of presence and character, where he was shouting out in the voice of Vice. At the time recording, because we were in the middle of COVID, we weren't able to really come to the scene of the recording, but Maino-san as well as Rin-san voicing Kachoa, I was involved in a Zoom session, and also the game designing and the scripting, Matsuno-san, who is also the director, he was there at the scene as well, and I took a look at his acting directions, and everybody was just so wonderful. Exceeding the scenario and the script, I think you were really engaged and immersed in playing out the characters, and perhaps you were there as well in really hearing the voices. I think the director too, he was really moved by your acting. And for me too, listening to the cutscenes, I thought I knew the story, but because of your voices, it breathes in a totally different new life and new emotions, and I was kind of testing it out in the gameplay, and I felt my emotions being moved. Kazuya, she's a character, isn't she? Has anybody in the audience played her in the past? She's a key character, isn't she? And Rin is voicing Kachoa. You may know the character. She has an edge. She has a character. And she has a little bit of a dark side, maybe, which is representative of the modern times almost. But I did the Super Nintendo version without any audio, and it was just through the text that I imagined Kachua's character, but with the full voice recording, with her voice, I'm really looking forward to how the character will be fully expressed. Maybe we will get to hear the line saying something like, "Sis." And that was something that I enjoyed saying as well. Alright, so we introduced the scene with Canopus when we introduced you, Nakamura-san, and it talked about a hideaway where he's meeting with Denim and the characters, but the original character illustration artist, Akihiko Yoshida, he created an all-new illustration for us, and this is the first time we're disclosing this to the public. This is cool, isn't it? Canopus, Kachoa, Denim, and Vice. You have Lancelot, the Starseer, Warren, all of these characters coming together to talk about what's happening on the Isles of Valeria. This is a beautiful illustration. This is when the story was still in sort of like a state of calm and peace, and then trouble will ensue from here. Please look forward to more details about this illustration and the details around that. Okay, so from here on, we're going to talk about the battle design remake, developed to provide more comfort and ease as a modern-day game. Let's take a look at the slide. First of all, we'll talk about the units. In this game, individual characters are called units. There are 2 points here. The first, the system used in Tactics Ogre, Wheel of Fortune, has been changed from a mechanism that manages battle levels by class to one that manages levels by unit. So it's a unit by by unit system, and you can customize at your own will. It'll be much more enjoyable. So, including Kachua or any other favorite characters, you can freely level them up. And the second point is the consumable items, the skills, and the magic spells. Maximum up to 4, you can include them in the unit composition. And as a simple way of experiencing the fun of strategizing about how each unit train themselves in this class, how to combine armor, skills, and magical kind of unit compositions to use in battle, there's also a convenient function that selects recommended equipment for you. So even beginners can enjoy playing the game with ease. Don't worry if you're a beginner. One more thing I wanted to add here was on the left-hand side of the screen, the armor as well as the protective gear and the weapons. Maximum up to 7 you can equip yourself with these items. And for the armor as well as the magic spells, the time of Tactics Ogre Wheel of Fortune, there was a level limitation. For example, if you wanted to equip yourself with a sword, you needed to go up to a level something as a knight. But for this game, the sooner the armor or the weapon you receive, you can immediately equip them and start using them in battle. Now, next is on the formation of the attack team, the preliminary step before entering the battle. There are 2 points I'd like to mention. The first is the element of bonus objectives. In addition to the terms of victory, you can obtain rare and valuable items as a bonus by performing designated actions. This is great, isn't it? Initially, the objective of this game is to defeat the opponent or the enemy, but there are other bonus objectives, and we do recommend you to go through these objectives, although this is totally up to you. But there are some great things that could happen if you achieve these bonus objectives. Please look forward to that as well. And the second highlight is the reconnaissance feature. By selecting the recon command, the screen switches to the battlefield and you can check the formation of your opponent you are about to battle.
I do have the video.
これまではバトルが始まってから敵の編成を実際に確認して状況によってはこの編成はちょっと相性が悪いなみたいなことがありましたよね。今回はそれを最初からアタックチーム編成の時点で確認ができてこうやって敵がどの位置にいて何を装備してどういうキャパシティ確認できます。でこれであとはまたアタックチーム編成画面に戻って次にまたアタックチーム編成画面でクラスをチェンジしたりとか装備内容を変えるといったこともできるのでそれで合わせて万全な状況で入っていただくといいと思います。こういったところでちょっといろいろと便利な機能を今回入れてます。
Actually, I cried so many times because I didn't know there were monsters and then that didn't match with my activation or the equipment. Yes, I think this is a title that I have been playing for many years in my business and in my private. I get used to play, but if I get into a battle, sometimes I do have the mismatched, the formulation or the equipment, but that cannot be happened under this new system. Alright, so go to the battle.
はい、こちらも2点ございまして、
There are 2 points.
1点目はですね、倍速モードの実装になります。ユニットのですね、移動速度から魔法などのすべてのアニメーションが高速になっています。比較動画がありますので、こちらをご覧ください。左が通常の速度で右側が倍速になります。
The left one is the normal speed and the right one is the double speed. The flow is identical, but the right one will be finished earlier. Well, sometimes tactical RPG is a little bit slow when you play, but you can switch the mood by pushing just the one button. I actually use the double speed mood all the time if I play.
ちょっと UI の変更というところで、
And the
今
UI
回全部コマンドをですね、さ
has
っきの
been
コードコマンド
changed
といったどういう攻撃ができるかっていうのは全部の
because
アイコンで
you do
一覧
have the
表示して
icon
今何が使え
as
る
the
かとか
list
MP が足り
to
なくて使え
find
ないの
out
が
what
す
you
ぐ
can
に
do
見えるようにな
so
ってま
that
す
you
の
are
で、
able
そうい
to
った部分
see
で
like
もう
okay
何
I
が今で
cannot
き
use
できな
this
いなら
magic
このコー
because
ド
of
を
the
フォローっていっ
shortage
た
of
こ
the
ともすぐに
MP
把握して
so that you are
快
able
適に
to
取ることが
capture
で
what
きます。で
you
あと
can
は
do and what
マ
you
ウス
do
操作に
with
も
the
今回対応
list
してますの
and
で、
you can
まさ
also
に
use
ア
the
イコンを
mouse
こう
too
操作するっていう
so
ところは
like
非常
using
に
the
こうマウスのクリ
PC
ック操
and then
作も
just
非
using
常
the
に相性が良
icon
く
that's
て
very good
快
for
適に
the
遊んでいただけ
clicking
るように
by
な
your
っており
mouse
ます。
so in a way you can choose understood
はい、そして2点目ですね。
And the second
こちらが今度は
point
バフカードにな
and
り
a
ます。
buff card
はい、これが何かというとですね、
Yes
バトル中ユニット強化要素
during the
バフカード
battle,
が
buff
フィールドに
cards,
出現しますね。
unit
でこのユニ
enhancement
ットが
element will
バフカ
appear
ード
on
を
the
拾うこと
field.
で
When
カ
the
ード種類に
unit
応じた
picks
強
up
化
the
を
buff
受けるという
card,
内
you
容になっ
get
てい
the
ます。
buff
はい、では
card
こちらも
you
動画を
know,
ご覧くださ
benefit.
い。
Please take a look at that.
はい、強化の内容はですね、攻撃力の向上やクリティカル確率の向上などバトルに直接的な影響があります。
Count
自軍敵
ratio
軍のユニッ
or
ト
you
は
can
このバフカ
increase
ードを
your
取り合い
attack.
動的に変化する状況
And
にどう
then
対
that
応
is
していくか、
something you are
その
able
場
to
で
utilize
ちょっと考
those
えな
buff
がら進めていく
cards
ことが
to
今
you
作
know,
ならではの
respond to the
バトルの醍醐
dynamic
味と
scenes
な
or
っています。
dynamic
はい、
battles. understood.
そうです。はい。
So if you pick up, you will be
こちら
enhanced.
最大
Yes.
で4つまでスタックできるの
four
で、同じ
buff
攻
cards
撃力ア
should
ッ
be
プを取れば
stacked.
取るほどどんどん
In other
強くなる
words,
はい。
if you get that, that would be, you know, a double or triple if you get the
これが
same
逆
buff
に
card.
敵に取られるとちょっと厄介になる。
But the enemy picks up, that's not the good one for you. Yeah, I mean, is it just for the this battle? Good question. Absolutely, this card will be used for just this battle, not carrying over to the next battle. Understood. That's very good, you know, element that you can think about the strategy, right? Thank you very much for pointing out.
あとゲームをやっていく中で
When you play the game, sometimes the beginner feels like, oh, very difficult, it's very difficult. But in this game, we do have the chariot. It's like undo function. You are able to undo and retry the command or the turn so that you are able to adjust or you are able to change how to attack the enemy, for example. So please enjoy. That was something we had the you know, Wheel of Fate too. Yes.
はい、ではですね、最後にですね、ご紹介するのは、
Okay,
アイテム関連とショ
I
ップに
want
なり
to
ます。
share something about the items and the
こちらです
stores.
ね、動画よく
We have the
ご用意しております
video
ので、
too,
ご覧く
so
ださい。
please take a look at it.
はい、1点目はですね、
Yeah,
バト
first
ルで
thing
使用
is
した
like
HP 回復などの消耗品アイテムは
HP
自軍にストックがあるとバトル終了後にそ
is
のア
the
イテムを収納し
consumable,
た
but
ユニ
you
ッ
are
トに
able
対して
to
自動で補
restock
充さ
if
れ
you
ます。
used that
はい、こん
item
な
during the
今
battle
補充しました
automatically.
よ。
Yes, it says like, you know, the your items are restocked.
前のバトルで使った消耗品
Oh,
を使
that's
って、
very good
その
function.
消耗品補充しないま
Well,
ま
because sometimes you forget to, you know, fill the items before you go to the battle, but that is not happening under this system. And then look at the items here or the equipment here. Well, this is a system to upgrade your equipment, but from this is just change from the Wheel of Weight. But in this game, the 100% successfully you are able to upgrade. You don't have to waste any items to upgrade your equipment.
いくつも複数もまとめて合成もでき
And
ま
then
すの
also
で、
you are able to
それで
upgrade
まあ
with
自
the
分のどん
multiple
どん
items.
楽に
So
早
that's
く
very
強化
easier
していく
for
とい
you
うこと
to,
が
you know, upgrade at the same time. Yes.
リセットしますもんね。
But I will reset if I actually failed, right? Yeah, I will do until I get the success. Yeah, that actually waste of the time, so I just put the 100% of the success for the upgrading the equipment for users. Understood.
ございます。
Thank
で
you.
はですね、はい、じゃあゲームの、はい、ご
Okay,
紹介はここまでといた
so
しま
much
して、
for the introduction of the
はい、で
game.
は良いこ
So,
とからですね、崎本さんと、はい、崎本さんファンの皆様、はい、お待たせい
and
た
all
し
of
ました。
you,
ここ
all
か
of
ら
the
は、はい、音
Sakimoto
楽の
san's
話、はい、
fans,
崎本さんをメイン
thank
と
you
したコ
very
ー
much for
ナ
your
ーとなりま
patience.
す。
From here, we want to
はい、
talk about the
よろしく
music.
お願いします。じゃあまずはちょっと私と
Okay,
崎本
so
さんの関係
let's
か
start
ら
with the relationship
お
with
話を
Mr.
しましょうかね。
Sakimoto and
さ
myself.
っき加藤さんとちょっと話してたんですけ
Yeah,
ど、
I talked with
僕の認識
Kato-san,
では
by the
加藤さん
way.
はその
In my
も
memory, he was just the good guy to enjoy drinking with the other colleagues. That was my memory. Because I didn't know who you were at that moment. You were like, you're just the guy, attending the reception or the party with the colleagues to enjoy drinking there. That was my memory. Well, he was like just a friend of mine. And then I realized that, he was in my team. That's right, after Tactics Ogre and then Final Fantasy Tactics and also Final Fantasy 12, those are the titles that I worked with you because I was the project manager. Because without having his music, I couldn't proceed. So I waited for his music in front of his house. Oh, he actually was saying the same to you. But that was true. Yeah, we worked so many years, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Final Fantasy 12 was the first title that I worked with him closely. So that was the moment that I realized his personality. And he was like, I actually will go to your place to pick up your music. And actually he came to my place in reality. I was like, oh my goodness, he stayed there to wait for me. It's very painful for the composer. That's right. Because he could wait and he actually enjoyed his time in my house, to read the comic or just the yeah, he actually had the patience to wait for the music. Thank you. And for this time, when I talked about the Reborn, when did I talk to you? Many years ago? Yeah, that was a good opportunity for me. Because, I recorded all live music for the Final Fantasy 12. I mean, Zodiac Age? Yes. That was the very, well accepted by users, so I really wanted to do that again. And as you talked about the culture, right? I really want to make a comment. Katsura is like that, as you know, but I am maybe okay if she is one of the colleagues for me. But the sister, very tough, to be honest with you. But no, Katsura thinks about his brother too. She thinks about her family all the time. Yes. When I developed my music as a composer, and the scenario was very shocking to me. That was very dramatic. And after the launch, people talk about it very, aggressive and dramatic, side of their culture. But I really wanted to express her different aspects with the music. That's something I tried to do for this time. Yeah, at the cutscene, you will see the different impression there. So that's something I want to see here.
And you also compose some new music, right? Yes, and we're going to introduce one of that to you right now. This music sounds a little lively, and the title of this is Victory. The scene where we're using this music is the staff credit section, which comes at the very beginning. People who were developed being the game as well as all of the staff involved, and this is the music that's going to play at that section. And this is just an expression of our thanks to everybody who was involved, and to represent that, we've titled this Victory. And Sakimoto-san, you're the one who titled this music, right? No, actually, I haven't titled any of the music. Oh, I see. I thought it was Kato-san. You titled all the music. If it's not you, then who is it? Somebody from the development team, I guess. And the staff role music is what you're listening to, which you see at the very beginning of the game. And initially, I had a darker tone that I imagined for the music, and then the people told me that I have no respect for the staff. Oh, I see. And that's the reason why I changed the tone. And I was composing long music, and this was supposed to be the latter half of that music. And it was supposed to express sort of like the brighter, the more enjoyable section of that music. But all in all, I think it turned out pretty good. Yes. It's really enjoyable, pleasant to the ears. I understand that you have other music that you've composed, so look forward to playing the game. And how was the recording of the music? I heard that the music was recorded overseas, but because of COVID, you weren't able to really be at the scene, right? Yes, I'm more of a producer for this game, working behind the scenes. And for FF12, I had a secret formula that we cracked, and we tried to reproduce that for this game as well. But because this was during COVID, I wasn't able to get to the actual scene of recording, and the recording style changed as well, because before, everybody was sort of like in a crowded room, and we were all playing the music next to each other, but because of COVID, we needed to maintain social distance. It was like a meter or so or more, and within the studio, how we compose all the musicians and how we place them, it was a different game to play in that sense. And because we weren't really able to travel, we had brilliant staff go there to the scene and to have them communicate with us. And each time the recording session ended, we did a debrief session, we made improvements, and we progressed inch by inch. And for the music arrangement, from the PlayStation version, some of the composers on my team are editing the music. Likewise, we did for the previous one. And I feel like that's the best way to do things, because I create the initial music, and that's where my role ends. And all of the composers in my team, they like doing the editing, the arranging, and they created the sheet music for the orchestration, for the orchestra music, and it was a team effort. But from the beginning to end, we had specific roles to play in this composer team, and therefore we carried over the good aspects from the previous time, but also we tried to make it more modernized in the sound. That's that's a point that we decided at the very beginning. What do you mean when you say modernize? The time of FF12, we were trying to go for a more classic symphonic sound, but for this game, because we had music that was more rhythmic, therefore it's a little bit more of a Hollywood taste. Not so much. It's not an overkill, but a taste of that. But I think that went pretty well. No, I believe it went really well. It's amazing. And in the actual cutscenes, you have the voiceovers as well as the music that you and your team composed. The development team, at first glance, they saw the cutscene and it was like their eyes opened. Oh, we now see it's really dynamic. There's a lot of presence here. And the dotted images, because it's really hard to imagine how they move, and the music really played a big role in this. It's the same game, but it really changed everything drastically because of the music. And we're so glad that we were able to record this as a full orchestra and have all of the lines fully voiced. So we're really satisfied. Yes, for me as well, being involved in this game for such a long time, but the impression for me has changed. I kind of feel like I'm playing a completely new game altogether. And I'm really looking forward to playing the game myself. I'm sure it'll be really exciting for me to start from the beginning, to listen to all the screams and the lines by Kachua. No, it's not like she's screaming. I see, I see. Okay, got it. And Maino-san, Nakamura-san, including the original Tactics Ogre, do you have any memories of the music, of the sound? For me, the music at the beginning of each chapter has that weight to it, and I really love that kind of music. And it's going to be even more cool. When I first composed the music, I've never composed music that was so serious sounding, so to speak, and I wasn't sure how to create the music, and I was always asking people or figuring out things. But for the chapter music, there were no reference points for me, but to hear your impression and your memories, that's really nice for me to hear. Okay, so what about you, Nakamura-san? When I play this on the old Super Famicom days, the silent sounding music, the soft music was never present, and from the get-go, the music would kind of abruptly come in, and going back to what you mentioned, the dotted characters, it's sort of like of them unfolding in the drama, in the character development. The music plays a really big role in this to help us imagine that. And for this game, you can use the help feature, and the music, you can look it up on the help screen as well, and it really describes the music and who wrote that text. It was Sakimoto-san and his team. And Kachua, when you take a look at the text, she's really described in a pretty awful way. I think it says something that she's not a happy person, or she tends to victimize herself. But take a look at it if you're interested. But the music description for the help feature and other descriptions, a lot of times I was composing music like on a Sunday midnight. And these times I was watching like B-grade movies in the background, and it was sort of like taking inspirations from those movies and providing the text explanation. But I think the users and the players, these are the moments where you can come back to the realization that you're playing a game when you take a look at all these reference points. And there's a mode called the Diva mode, and I think the music that's related to that, we were able to receive really good comments in the text description. That's something that we really poured our heart and soul in that as well. Because my team, they're very serious, and yes, the content was really good. Alright, so we're now coming towards the end of the program, but we'll wrap up the topic on music for now, and thank you very much, Sakimoto-san.
はい、ではですね、はい、徐々にちょっと終わりの方もですね、近づいてきておりますが、その前にですね、告知のコーナーに参ります。はい、ここでも新情報がありますので、ぜひ最後までですね、ご覧ください。はい、でまずはこちらになります。はい、もしかしたらですね、すでにご予約いただいた方も見てくださっている方は嬉しいのですが、予約シートがないという方、初めて知った方含めてですね、これから実は限定掲示板の
This is an e-store limited package
ちょっ
version.
とこれね、今実際に今映ってますが、ものもこちらに
And I do have the wheel product here too, so let's take a look at the
ご紹介できればと思います。
Can you
はい、
see
ま
this?
ずはですね、こちらですね。
The first one is his
これがちょっとその限定
script book. And here's the box for the limited version. And then Akihiko Yoshida wrote, drew this picture too. And this book covered all the script in the game. Huge volume, and you can see the front, and you can see the gods appeared in this title were written here. So, if you are a fan of the Matsuno-san's scenario, I really want you to enjoy reading this.
はい、では次ですね。
Thank you. Go to the next please. Maino-san. Yes.
こちらはですね、公式画集
This is the official art book.
ですね。その先ほどお見せした吉田明彦さんのイラストであったり、
And the illustration of the Yoshida-san, and also the God's pictures or illustrations are written here, and also the Masosa-san's illustrations, and also high diluted or the good quality illustrations were written here. So please enjoy. Oh my goodness. We can't see the content, but that's very good.
はい、では中村さんのところなんですけれども、はい、ちょっとこちら3点セットですね。
You have the 3 items here. First. Oh, thank you.
ちょっと今左側にあるですねタロットカードもあるんですけど、
You
この
have
タロットカードと右側にある
card on your left and the page on the right.
タロットカードを入れるポ
And
ーチ
these
があります。
cards
そして今、はい。
are
そうですね。はい。これはもう別にタロットカード
Yeah, actually you are able to put those cards into this pouch.
主人公デニムが所属する
This is from the element, I mean the emblem from the Denim's
先ほど中村さんの方で
team,
配
and
布していただい
also
たこち
you
らで
can
すね。
see
こち
the
ら
map here.
タロットカードを敷く実際のマット
This
にな
is
っている
the
ので、
in order
さら
sheet
に
for
使い
the
道としては
cards,
ゲーミング
and
マスタ
how
ー
to
ドであ
use
ったり
it.
と
It's
か、
like you are
ベース
able
マット
to
としても
use this
使えるようになっております
item
ので、
for
ぜひ
the mouse pad.
70センチ横70センチの
It's very
縦
big,
が確か
right?
50センチ近く、はい、
70 centimeters
厚さが
versus 50 centimeters. So I saw that on the desk of Nakamura-san only, so he only has the very good one. I was curious about that. Yeah, I was thinking about it too.
非常に使い
Yeah,
やす
look
い
at that. This is a very
先
good
ほどのですね
pad.
バレリア島と言われる、はい、ゲー
And
ム
then
の
you
舞
can
台
see the
を
Valerier and the world of
タロ
this
ットカード、
title
はい、
too.
こ
And
の
here's
吉田
the
明彦
cards.
さん
And
にタキソ
Akihiko
ロンメロンの時
Yoshida
に書いていただいた、はい、タロットカードに
drew these
なりますね。はい、
illustrations
22
too,
枚ダイヤ
as
ル
he
かなと言
did
われ
with
てい
the
るです
previous
ね、
title
はい、タ
too.
ロットカードになります。はい、
Good.
ありがとうございます。では、次崎本さんです
And
ね。
then
はい、崎本さ
Sakimoto-san.
んの方は、はい、
Yes.
ミニサウンドトラックになります。
Yeah,
はい、こちら
soundtrack.
ゲーム中の、曲です、楽曲ですね。そ
You
こか
can
ら
enjoy
15
the
曲をセレ
music
クトして
inside of the game.
入
We
れており
have
ます。
selected
先ほどちょっとね、ご
15,
紹介したビクトリーに入って
titles
たり
and
とか。
15 music
はい、
from
こ
the
んな感じで、
game.
はい、
Can you see
素
the
敵なイラスト
inside?
も
Yes,
出
you
てお
can
り
see
ます。
the illustration too.
ちょっとね、そう曲の方はね、そうですね、私の方で選曲させていただきま
I
した。
selected the numbers, I mean
もう
titles.
はい、崎本さんにももうお任せと言われて、はい、
Because Sakimoto-san was okay to leave it to
大
me,
体毎
so.
回そうちょっとビクトリーは多分私じゃないんですけど、大体曲を決める
Victory
時は
was
曲
not
名をつける
something
時
that
は
I
自分がつけ
decided,
たりとか、
but I
サントラ
actually
の曲順
named
と
the
かも
title
自
of
分
the
の方で
music, or I
お話の
named
流
the
れをとってこうした方が
soundtrack
いいかな
too.
みたい
So
な。
I tries to, select the music for this soundtrack too again.
じゃあ、はい、グッズの紹介ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much
そしてです
for
ね、
the introduction
この
of
イ
the
ーストア
goods.
でタクティ
And
クス・オガ
at
リ
the
ボンの
e-store,
パッケージやパッケージ通常版やこのコレクターズエディションなどをですね、
and
対象
out
商
of the
品のい
people
ずれ
who
かを
purchase
ご
or
購入された方
pre-order
の
the
中か
standard
ら
packaged
抽選
version
で500 名
for
様
the
に
Eastward
スリーソーシ
Collector's
ガラスのか
Edition.
ぼちゃタクティクスオーガリボン版をですね、
500 winners
プレゼ
will
ン
be
トいたします。
selected by
こちらはですね、
lottery
ちょっと
to receive
サ
the
ンプルで
glass
ガラスのかぼ
pumpkin.
ちゃですね。まあペーパーウェイトとしても使いますし、こ
Yeah,
れ
you
も
can
と
use
もと
this for
ス
the
ーパーファミコン版のタクティクスオーガの時の
Originally,
キャン
this
ペ
was
ー
from
ン
the
で死者の宮
campaign
殿
at
と言われ
the
るエンドコの
SNES, I mean
はい
SNES, at the
それを潜り
yeah,
続
at
け
the
て、
dungeon, right?
とある条件を
And
満
there
た
was
すと、
the players of the
こ
dead,
の
and there was a
ガラス
dungeon,
のかぼ
and
ちゃを
if
も
you
らえると
completed the
チャンス
dungeon,
がある
and
という
there
です
was
ね、
the
キャンペー
opportunity
ン
for
をや
the
っていま
players
し
to
て、
get the
今回
glass
そのタクティ
pumpkin.
クス
That
オ
was
ー
the
ガリボン
campaign
版
that
という
we
ことで、この
did
ガラスのかぼちゃ
how
また
many
リボン
years
版に、
ago,
はい、
and we
作りま
actually
したという
created this good for the reborn again.
これねゲーム中にちょっと共同するとあるキャラのイメージも模したアイテムになるんですけど。
This is an item with the image of the particular character in the title. So if I pre-order, I am able to join to the lottery. Yes, automatically. Oh, please, I need to pray. Oh, you actually ordered already? Okay, understood. And Maino-san, please, of course. Of course, I will get the pre-order with the 22,000 yen, right? Collector's package. That's something that I try to reserve. Thank you.
そしてですね、続いてですね、こちらのちょっと内容に関しましては、その他詳細はですね、こちらのスクエアエニックスのですね、特製サイトの方をご覧いただければと思います。
Take a look at the e-store of
続い
Square
ての
Enix.
新たな情報といたしましてですね、なんとですね、タクティクスオーガリボーンのラインスタンプができました。
Line stamp of the Tactics
こちら
Ogre
はですね、本日の
will be
18時頃から
launched.
ご
Okay,
購
these
入いただけ
stamps
るように
will
なり
be
ます。
available
ご覧いただ
from
いているですね、
6
デザイン
p.m.
含めて
Japan
全部で
time.
32種類
We
あり
have
ます。
the
他にもどん
32
なキャラがいるかというところなんですけど、これ実際に書かれているセリフ
Oh,
は
really? That's
ゲー
really
ム
good.
中
And
の
all those
セリフ
scripts
に
are from the game? Yes. Very aggressive scripts. Where can I use those words? Where can I use those, comments? Maybe at
お
night?
やすみなさいという時にちょっと
Maybe you can say, good
まあ
night,
ちょっと何か
or
気に障ったことがあった
you
らこ
can
う使ってもいいかもしれません
say,
し
maybe those, scripts are quite aggressive, like, here's like, I'm sorry, but I don't feel any, feeling of the I'm sorry from this
もうね
stamp.
他のちょっと残りのキャラクターもまたちょっとゲーム中のセリフで
And
はい
these are just
印
the
象に残るセリ
portion
フ
of
が
the
あります
stamps,
の
so
で
you will see
本
more
日
in
18
the
時頃
full
からの配
version,
信
so
と
that
な
will
り
be
ますのでちょっ
available
とこちら
from
内容
6 p.m.
ご確認いただければと思います。はい、こちらの方はですね、タクティクスリボンの公式ツイッターの方でもお知らせしますので、
The official
ぜひチェッ
Twitter
クいた
will
だければと
announce
思い
too,
ます。
so please check it out.
で続いてのですね、
And
はい告知はこちらとなり
Here
ま
is
す
the。announcement again to
はい
you.
先ほどご紹介しましたタクティクスオーダーリボーンの公
As
式ツイッ
I
ターでキャン
introduced
ペーンを実
the
施いたしま
official
す。
Twitter of this
条件
title,
を
we
満
will
たした
have
ツイ
the
ートで
tweet
キャンペーンに
campaign.
参加してくだ
If
さった
the
中の中から
tweet
抽選で
fulfills
50名
the
様に
requirement,
こちらもですね、
and
元祖かぼちゃタクティクスオー
50
ダーリボーン
winners
版をプレ
will
ゼ
be
ントい
able
たし
to
ます。
get the glass
で
pumpkin, as
イ
I
ンストア以
showed
外で
here.
ね予約したという方には
So
ガラス
if
のか
you
ぼちゃを手
get
に
the
入れるチャンスに
pre-order
なります。
outside of
でそして
the Square
イン
Enix
ストアで
site,
対
here
象
is
商
the
品を購
opportunity
入さ
for
れ
you
た
to
方には
get
ダ
the
ブルチャン
glass
スとして
pumpkin. Or if you
まあ
have already
手に入れられ
pre-ordered
るかも
from
しれないという
the
ですね、
Square
はい、もの
Enix,
になり
you
ます
can
の
get the
で、
double
はい
chance to
キャンペーン詳
join
細
the
はですね、
lottery
近
to
日
get
中に
the pumpkin
お
here.
知らせできると思います
So
の
I will
で、タクティ
let
クスオ
you
ーダーリボ
know
ーン
the
の公式
details
ツイッター
later,
ですね、
but
フォローしていただき
please
つつ、
follow
お待
the
ちください
official
ませ。
Twitter of
はい、
Tactics
ぜひぜひ
Ogre.
皆様、はい、ご参加いただければと
So
思います。
please join this
は
campaign.
い、
Thank
告
you very
知は
much.
では以上と
And
な
that
り
is
ま
pretty
す。
much about the announcement for today. That's very
はい、
good.
そうですね。でもあっという間に本当ね時間が来
Oh,
てしまいまして、
we
もうそろ
really
そろ、
need
ね、
to
終
wrap
了
up
の
the
もう時間
session.
もちょっと近づい
Time
てきました。
pass really
は
fast.
い、でもちょっ
Thank
とね
you.
何年ぶりかのちょっとお客様の前での
Well,
ちょっと放
this
送という
is
ところ
just
で
the
ちょっと
very
ね
first
私も
time for
最
me
初ちょ
to
っとか
talk
なり緊張して
to
若干
people
こう風邪
here.
がひどく
You know,
でしたしね。
だけどもちょっとかなりね楽しく、はい、
but I was a little bit
放送させていただ
nervous
き
in
ま
the
した。
beginning, but I very
はい
much
ではです
enjoyed.
ね、
Yeah,
そうですねちょっと
because
最後にですね、
it was just
まあ
my
皆さ
first
んからで
time
す
in
ね、
many
一
years.
言ずつ、まあ、感
But
想
I
をちょっ
thank you
と
very
ね
much for
メ
your
ッセージ
cooperation.
を
So I
い
really
ただ
want
け
to
れば
point
と
out
思いま
each
す。
guest to give us
そ
the
れでは、
comment.
最初ですね、
So
崎
let's
本さんの
to
方から、
start with
はい、
the
お願いいた
Sakamoto
し
sign
ま
at the
す。
beginning. Yes.
そうですね、一番最初にその開発に携わった時にはもう本当にこん
When
な
I
に息の
worked
長いゲームになるとは
for the first
先
time,
になるとは
I
全然思
actually
ってい
have
な
not
くてですね。
expected
ただ
to
まああの
have
時
this,
に
long history
なん
with
て言うんで
this
しょう、みんな
game.
がその自分ができること以上にすごい一生
Because
懸命頑張
each
ったんだと思うんです
staff
よね。
worked so
だからやっぱ
hard
そういうのが
to
こう
beyond
今
the
でも
expectation.
伝わってくる
So
ようなもの
I
になったのはすごく良
feel
かった
the
と思うん
very
ですよ。
great
で
passion
こうやっ
from
て
this
リメイ
title
クが出る
still.
たびにこうやって
And
なんか今回
whenever
は
I
音声
do
が入
have
った
the
りとかし
remake
て
or the
す
reborn
ごい
like this, I now
本
have
当
the
別
new
の
essence
作品かっていう
there,
くらい
like
の
a
雰
new
囲気が変わっ
music
て
or
です
light
ね、
music.
こうやって
So I
何度
feel
も
like
何
the
度も
totally
楽しめるよう
different
なものに
product
なっ
so
た
that
の
you
は
are
すごく良
able
かった
to
と思って
enjoy
い
this
て、
title many, many times.
なので僕も
So that's
発売さ
why
れたら一緒
I really want to play this title is released. So please enjoy this title with me. Thank you.
はい。ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much.
はい。あ、では続いて、はい、
Alright,
中村さん
so
お願いいたし
moving
ま
on
す。
to Nakamura-san, please. Thank you so much for having me today. For me, my encounter first with Tactics Ogre was 27 years ago. And I can say that now, the simulation game having quarter views where you're looking down from the top, that is a common thing right now, but back then it was a completely new thing. It was brand new. And those games, those days, it was called something emblem, right? Where the animation would switch over in the battle scenes just a bit, and those were the common types of games back in the day. And the geography and the maps, it's much more easy to understand this game, and the gameplay as well, the recommended way to play the game and referencing all that information. And using all of that data effectively will help you to progress in the game in ways that you never imagined. And I was blown away. I never thought that would be possible in a game. And through these 27 years, there are many games that have developed. Maybe this is not a new thing anymore, but this is a remastered version of the original game, and I really hope that players would enjoy the game and really find out for themselves how this original game was so exciting, and look at the exciting pieces remastered as well. And for me to play Canopus and the characters around him and how he develops relationships with those other characters, that's a great part for me to be able to voice his soul, and I hope you will enjoy. And there were like 90-something people that were involved in the voice acting, right? Yes, and we actually don't know how it all turned out in the final remastered version in the voices, so that's something to look out for as well. Maino-san, please? Yes, thank you so much to the live audience and to the viewers. And for me, I'm really looking forward to the release of the game. I am always depending on Canopus as a character, but I don't know what's going to happen in this version. No, it's the same. Because I heard that the bow is being readjusted for this game, the same for the spear too. But anyways, for Denim, I tend to be a little bit biased or one-sided when I train and grow my characters. I want to have a little bit more variety in playing this game. And going back to the origins of tactical RPGs, this is the game. And for players who usually do not play this kind of game, it's going to be very enjoyable, and this epic, vast world that you're going to see, and the dotted characters, although they are dotted, you're going to be really attracted and immersed in their relationships and their stories, and there are multiple routes that you can take, so a multitude of ways to enjoy, and per route your comrades may be different, the people in your party, and there are many different kinds of encounters that you're going to come across depending on the scenario. Depending on what kind of action Denim takes or the character takes, it's going to change the fate of the characters. So I hope that you will enjoy all these different ways of playing the game, and for those who have played the game after decades, because you're all grown up now, you're an adult probably, and reflecting back on the game, I'm sure there will be new discoveries, and really realizing the ideals that the characters have, and reflecting back that onto you, understanding them. So for the new players as well, I hope that this show was enjoyable for you and has compelled you to pick up a game and play. So look forward to it, and thank you so much for today. Alright, so finally, from Kato-san. This was a very heated discussion and conversation, and I feel like I have nothing more to contribute. But because of time constraints, we weren't able to say everything. There will be new information that we hope you will look forward to. So stay tuned for more updates. And we've improved the playability of the game for this modern era, and like Nakamura-san was saying, you can play really freely and you can dive deeply into it in terms of battle play, or you can enjoy the storyline and really dive into the different branch outs. So I hope that you will enjoy the game and it's worth it. Thank you so much.
はいではもう本当ね今日はゲストの参加本当にもうありが
Thank
とう
you
ござ
so
いま
much
した。
again to our guests.
はいそして最
Thank
後まで
you
はいご覧いただき
and
ましてあ
thank
り
you
がとう
so
ございま
much
した。
to the audience
はいタクティクスオガリボ
for
ーン
sticking
は
with
です
us
ね
until the very end.
2022年11月11日に
Tactics
発売となり
Reborn
ます。
will
楽し
launch
み
on
にお
November
待ちいただけ
11,
ればと思います。
2022.
それでは皆さんありが
Look
とうご
out
ざい
for
まし
it
た。さよう
and
なら。
thank you so much. Goodbye.
ありがとうございました。
Thank you.